I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Take that, Joe Black. Take that, Joe Black. I see you on here bad-mouthing me, telling me that somebody's early in the comments, and therefore I will be late. I see that. What? What's that? What are you doing? Did something happen? Hello, can you hear me? Check. I don't know what was going on there. She was waving. It wasn't me. I see it here. Oh no! That's what she was doing. Kate was waving. That's what you were doing. It wasn't Joe. It was Kate. Kate said, Les, you're on time. So Kristopher will be on Bilbrey time late. I get it. No. All right. It was Kate. All right. I got so mad, but it was not Joe. Well, I apologize. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Thursday night, March 20th, 2025, episode 413 of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. When I don't come on just immediately bitching at listeners and I'm wrong about it, it's actually producer Kate that's doing it. That's what she was waving about. That's hilarious. I started doing that, and she's like waving. I thought she was going someplace, but she was telling me that was her, not Joe. Well, I apologize there, Joe. I do like I do like that you're still reminding me about Honest Gabe, so that's good. That's great. Joe's joke of the show here says, a woman taking golf lessons had just started her first round when she was stung by a bee. Distraught, she went back into the clubhouse and told her golf teacher about the incident. Where did it sting you? He asked. Between the first and second hole, she replied. He shook his head and said, that's your problem right there. You had your feet too far apart. Hey-oh. Well, good. Do you have like a book, or do you like look this up online? Am I the only, am I the only YouTube channel that you tell jokes on, or all of the videos that you watch, do you impart these jokes? That's a pretty special gift that you have there, Joe. I like it. I like it. When I'm in a bad mood, I know, even though when I feel like I don't want to do the show or whatever's going on, I know that I'll have a few minutes of levity because Joe's going to be here with a Joe joke, and I love it. Well, today was Thursday, and it's the, let's make sure we're saying it right. It's the third Thursday of the month. And in Muncie town, the third Thursday of the month is MRC Day. That's right. That's when our favorite people from the Muncie Redevelopment Commission get together and hold meetings where they spend large amounts of money, sometimes on projects that make sense and do wonders for the city, and other times spend money, large amounts of money, on projects that just absolutely are baffling, go nowhere, offer no real economic development or revitalization of any kind to the city or the county. And so it's always a battle between what they're doing, almost more than any other board. And I tell you, everyone's probably like, Redevelopment Commission, it's all we've been talking about here for this last week. Well, that's been the Delaware County side of the Redevelopment Commission. This is now the city side, the Muncie City Redevelopment Commission. Everybody's favorite folks, Shireen and Isaac and Steve Pribella, Andrew Dale. Forget the other guy's name. I always forget. Zane Bishop. And then, of course, Jeff Howell, who is just basically a note reader for Ridenhour. We do have a Board of Works meeting that we are going to review today. I only titled this the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting review because it's the longer meeting. And the Board of Works meeting is only like 8 or 9 minutes. So we'll go through that pretty quickly. But the majority of today's episode is going to be focusing on the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting. And I've actually watched the meeting front to back, so I know what we're going to be looking at. We are going to do a pretty thorough review of at least the first 30-some minutes. We'll do it on a little sped up time, so it won't take so long. But there's some interesting points that I want to hit upon from that meeting. I also want to notify you all that I did receive a response back from Craig Wright last week when I had messaged him, because if you all recall, last week we went through the Board of Works meeting. It was 8 minutes again. Okay. And then, sorry, I just got a message I had to look at. Last week we went through the Board of Works meetings, but they had not put the claims up. So I emailed the city and I said, hey, wait, what's going on with this? Is this something that you guys are going to fix quickly, or what are we doing here? And they did respond to me. Trying to get this pulled up here real quickly. And we'll look at that all together. So we went through last week's Board of Works meeting and we saw that. I just didn't go through the claims to see if there was anything there from Dustin. So we'll take a look at that. And we will also, maybe it is further back here than what I thought. That's only to the 13th. When did I send that to them? Okay. Oh, I know where it's at. All right. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up the Muncie City Board of Works meeting here first, because the meeting is only, it's going to be less than 10 minutes. So give me just one moment here. We'll pull this up and we'll go through the Muncie Board of Works meetings here. The Board of Works met on Wednesday, March 19th, rather. And It looks as if, yeah, we're ready. We're ready to go here. So here we go. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Muncie Board of Works meeting from this past Wednesday.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the March 19th meeting of the Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety. We welcome you here. Please rise if you can for the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If we could have roll call, please.
Ted Baker.
Present.
Paula Maurer.
Present.
Linda Gregory.
Present.
It's good to be back. Having been gone a couple of weeks, it is just good to be back. So anyway, if we could have the consideration or the approval of the minutes from the March 12th meeting.
Yes, I move approval of the March 12th minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Additions? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Thank you. Motion carried. Let's talk about the claims. Craig?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sent out the claims yesterday afternoon. We did have a second run for utilities last week. Really the only claim that I really want to point out was on page 12, the claim for $767,335.88 to
Good
the
evening,
Indiana
Alva.
Department of Transportation, and that was from local road and street for our portion of paving for McGalliard work. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Okay. Do you have any comments or
I
questions?
have none.
No, thank you.
Okay. And I went through those yesterday too, and I really don't have any. So that's good. Do we have a motion to approve the claims as presented?
I move approval of the claims for $1,304,798.
Second.
Okay. Do you have any comments or questions? Okay. We don't. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Craig. Motion
Thank you.
carried. We have some new business. We have an ask for residential handicap parking spot approval for 1023 East First Street. Is someone here to represent that, or we don't have to, but yeah. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary that we had to worry about too much on that one.
No.
Do we have a motion to approve this?
I move
Are you
approval of
going back to the
application
thing?
for the
To the
handicap
jokes of
parking
the day?
space.
I'll second.
Okay.
I do see there's.
You got here late.
Normally, on a first time, you have to have a physician's authorization. I'm assuming that because they have a permanent state tag, that suffices.
That's what I noticed the same, but I don't think we're, okay. Okay, do we have a motion to approve? Did we do that already?
Mhm.
Okay, I got it, sorry. I'm still getting back in the groove here. Any comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor of approving the handicap parking space, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, thank you. We have application for a street closure for Ivy Tech Community College for food vendors and school events, various days. Could we have someone from Ivy Tech come and share with us?
I guess that's me.
Yeah,
Chairman, committee members, good morning. Thank you for having us. We do have various street closures that we would like to request, as you said, for our Food Truck Fridays, for some employee events, for our public kickoff for back to school in the fall, and for our Christmas event that we hold in December.
okay. Now, has anybody ever talked to you about planning ahead? No, I'm just kidding.
It's been mentioned.
And most of these are things you've already done and keep doing. And
Yes,
yeah,
these are things that will be repeated
Yeah.
from previous years.
Great.
Nothing's new.
That's great.
Great.
Any comments or questions or a motion to approve?
Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
Okay, here they are. All right. Most of these are
Of course.
10 to 2, 9 to 2, and 3 to 8, an evening one.
Yes, and then one Saturday.
Okay.
And the 3 to 8 is Franklin and Howard on December 16th. That's a parade type of thing.
Yes, it's more like a carriage ride that
Yeah.
we have. So we have the horses and the carriage come downtown.
Okay, and this is, so the only impact on traffic really would be cars going to the convention center parking lot, correct?
That is still open and
Oh, it's still
accessible.
open, okay.
Yes,
Great.
Okay. Have there been any complaints from prior years?
none.
Yeah, everybody hates it.
I move approval of the street closure as
no
presented
alcohol
on
question.
multiple dates.
Second.
Okay, great. Any other comments or questions from the public? Thank you for so much investment in our community, the events. I mean, this is great. This is part of what makes downtown so
It's
good. So
really
thank you.
great.
Yeah, thank you. It's a true partnership.
Yeah. So all those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll have documents. I don't know, if we've got plenty of time, but we'll have documents here ready that are signed. We have a third item of new business, Office of Community Development, Tui Pool Bathhouse roofing contract. Good morning.
Good morning, Nikita Adams, Office of Community Development. We did 3 rounds of bids for this project. We got 1 the first time, 2 the second time. The contract we tried to sign for the last one, the contractor backed out, and so we ended up opening for the 3rd round of bids. So we are now moving forward with Blackmore and Buckner.
never really
as the
seen food
contractor on this.
food
They were
trucks
the
in
only
downtown
bidder we
Muncie.
got, but they've
I'll
been
have to look for
consistent
'em, but I
every
don't
round
think
of
so.
bids with this.
What is the amount?
$101,650.
Okay.
Each 12.
Do the bids fit in kind of like your thought process of where it should be?
Yeah, it was a little higher than what we wanted, but they have come down from their original bid. So we're happy with that. They've come down about $9,000 from where they were at the start. So
Some in this environment still, if you, whatever you think as far as building, add 10 or 20%. That's the way things are going. So unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, I move approval of the roofing contract as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other comments or questions from the public? It does meet my heart good when I go past Tui Pool in the
Yeah.
summer. I mean, it's packed most of the time. So I love to see that being used.
Lots of happy.
Yeah, lots of happy. Water makes people happy. You know that? So, okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against or, okay, no, none, sorry. Same sign. And so we have approval here. So thank you. Motion carried. And then our last one is a noise exemption authorization from Ball State University for 4/12/25. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, my name is Colin Bell. I'm from Ball State. We're planning a music festival that day, April 12th on 2025. It's looking to start at 8 a.m. and then end at 8 p.m. It's very much a learning exercise for our students where they learn to plan and organize a festival of this type. We have had this event happen in the past as well in 2022 and 2023. We didn't have it last year, so we're looking to bring it back for this year.
And when you say, Colin, when you say at Ball State, and it's where actually at Ball State is it?
So it's going to take place on the north end of campus by Botsford Swinford Hall. It is about as north as you can get on campus before you're pretty much off campus. The way that the music will be projecting out is towards the north of campus, towards a parking lot, and then Bethel will be right there.
So where is it from, like the roundabout or where is it from there?
It is probably about 400 to 500 feet southwest from there. It is nestled in between Botsford Swinford Hall and Byrell Hall, which is right there on the.
Okay, that's good. Okay, got it. That's great. And you'll have all the police presence if you need to.
That's
No
great.
drinking, no anything like this. It's a Ball State sponsored group, right?
It's a Ball State Living Learning Communities outside of housing. I'm already in contact with UPD to make sure that we're fine on that.
I see you have police chief approval.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to approve Colin's request?
I move approval of the noise exemption authorization.
I'll second.
Okay.
I do have one question.
Any other comments or questions?
My typical question, do you anticipate any alcohol use?
No, not at all.
And you have provisions to prevent that? in case it does show.
In that case, if there is alcohol in any kind of sense like that, we would call UPD and have UPD
Okay.
come and handle the situation.
Just want to make sure you're planning ahead.
Okay, any other comments or questions?
I don't
Okay,
even know.
okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Thank you very much. Colin, we'll have paperwork signed before you leave. You can pick it up.
Cool, thank you.
That is all the new business. Do we have any other public discussion or anything you would like to bring up? Okay, having none, have a great day. Meeting adjourned.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so that was the Redevelopment Commission meeting. Fantastic. The only thing of interest that I want to show you all is this. This shows you right here, the very last line here, and this is in the edit fund, Horizon Convention Center. And this is their payment for their room and everything for the state of the city. I want to show you that to rent out that room and to get everything that goes along with it, it costs the city of Muncie $12,211 when we have a perfectly decent auditorium with camera system and everything in place that the mayor could use. But you know what he doesn't get to do? He doesn't get to host a breakfast and have his bestest buddies there to eat his breakfast with him at 7:00 in the morning. You know, if they would start thinking about being a little bit more frugal, and if they had been being frugal all of this time, and then on top of that, they're like, oh no, Senate Bill 1. Oh, what is it going to do to us? Maybe I would listen more to their concerns. But when we're spending $12,000 for a room for 2 hours for the mayor to host breakfast with his bestest friends, I have a hard time listening to the mayor and all the mayor's men telling us how broke we are and how broke we're going to be. So I just think that's interesting. Dustin was not in this batch of claims, which now it's starting to cause me to have questions about what are they doing, because he's now not turned in claims in, it's been a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks now. And some people might say, well, hell, you know, that's great. You know, he had only been paid like $18,000 in the 2 weeks before. He should be okay for a minute. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I agree, I understand. But that's not how Dustin rolls. I'm worried that they're doing this thing where they're like holding on to them, and he's going to like turn them in at one point, and then we're going to get slammed. And that's not how things should work. You work, you get paid. You work, you get paid. And so it'll be interesting to see what they're doing, if they're hiding something somewhere, because I'm not finding it anywhere. No, he's not on vacation. He's been up there. He's been right there, right up there, and you know, in the thick of it all. So I don't know. The problem is with how Dustin and the mayor have ran things since day one, it's always been fishy. It's always been something funny going on. And because of that, well, that now leads me to not have a very good taste in my mouth when it comes to Dustin, because I just don't trust him. I just no trust in Dustin. You know, there's no trust in Dustin. It gives me anxiety about the size of the next claim. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going to have a claim for like $25,000. And I mean, you know, I guess it's all the same. It all comes out to the same, whether we're paying him weekly or we pay him every couple of months. I just still find it all very, very questionable. So, all right, DC, it's nuts. It's legitimately crazy. Okay, so from there, we're gonna go on to the Redevelopment Commission. I don't know if I misspoke and I called the Board of Works Redevelopment Commission back and forth. That was the Board of Works we watched. That was the 10-minute Board of Works. We're now going to go to the Muncie Redevelopment Commission, and we're going to get these people going and hear what kind of madness they say. Now, this meeting is only about 44 minutes. We're not going to watch the whole thing, and we're going to listen to it at about a minute 40, 45, I think, if that'll do us good.
Gave a thumbs up.
Oh, there he is. We'll go ahead and call to order the meeting of the Muncie Redevelopment Commission for March 20th, 2025. We'll start with roll call. Mr. Bishop?
Here.
Mr. Dale?
Present.
Mr. Miller, I'm here. Mr. Pravilla?
Here.
And Ms. Wagley?
Yes.
And Mr. Lowe is in the audience today. Good to see you. Going to go ahead and look over the agenda. If there are any additions or subtractions. Mr. Howe, you had something else you wanted added, correct?
I don't have a microphone over there, so I inadvertently left off downtown development. So if we could add downtown development to the agenda, please.
Sure. I'm going to propose that we add them just as the first step of other business before the grant. Is that okay with you, Mr. Howe?
Yes. Yeah, that's fine.
So that'll be my motion to amend the agenda in that way. If there's anything else.
Second the motion.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Dale?
Yep.
Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Pravilla?
Yes.
Ms. Wagley?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let me write that in real fast. Okay. On to the approval of the previous meeting memoranda. You all should have a copy of that in your packets.
I move to approve as is.
I will second that motion.
I will add, just because it's a fact, there are a number of things that are missing from the minutes that are consequential. So I will not be voting in favor.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Again, Andrew Dale has never, to my knowledge, on the MRC, has never voted for the minutes. And it's now just a walk in the park. It's like a Sunday day drive. It's like, hey, I don't agree. Okay, no. And they just go on. It's like they're rolling through the motions here. I still say that I understand that it gets, tiresome and whatnot, but I think that he needs to push a little bit harder. It's that whole thing of, saying, I think it completely went out of my mind. Bottom line is he needs to push back a little bit harder. I understand he's still getting on there. It's on the record, but he needs to sell them on why this is an issue, because they are not covering these meetings. And I know that they're being recorded. We can always go back through the meetings that are online here, but one of these days, there might be a reason to go back into the paper documents. And if they are not keeping an an accurate record on paper, then that is a problem, in my opinion.
Seeing none, Mr. Bishop,
Yes.
Mr. Dale,
No.
Mr. Miller, yes, Mr. Pravilla,
Yes.
Ms. Wagley.
Yes.
On to the claims by Mr. Wright.
DC.
Good morning. I sent out the claims yesterday and wanted to know if
Right.
anybody had any questions. I know I replied to Zane on the REMAX question via the email. And with that, I'll just open it up to any questions anybody might have.
We asked you about the Remax one in Zane's email, but Jeff, did you want to describe the 350 to Remax, what that was for those 3 lots?
Evaluation on lots on Washington Street.
Okay.
Zane and I talked about it. I think, Zane, I don't want to mischaracterize. I think you believe it's been published before, but I couldn't find anything, so we're just going to make sure it gets published again.
Yeah, I don't think the jury parking lots have been published.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I know we talked about some other ones, but yeah. So.
Okay. Thank you.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
I noticed that we've got legal fees for Indiana stamping, but that's not an MRC project, I understand. Why would we be paying legal fees on that? I mean, you made it very clear, Jeff, that it's not an MRC project. So I'm just curious why we're paying legal fees for Indiana stamping work. That is the Muncie Community Development Corporation, I understand, and not the MRC.
This was from Barnes and Thornburg.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this was basically what I saw on there. It was reviewed the IDEM oversight, and it was from an invoice 384991 for legal services. That's what the invoice stated. So that's.
We'll have to find out if it needs to be applied someplace else because it is not an MRC property, and so we'll have to take a look and see.
Yeah, no other questions. I would move that we approve the claims as presented minus the legal payment of.
That claim will have already been paid.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a matter of whether it gets reallocated.
Okay, so now listen here. So first off, the kid that does most of the talking in the middle, Isaac Miller, I'll point him out here in a minute. That's the president of the commission. The guy at the podium, is that Jeff Howell? Is Jeff Howell at the podium or is Craig Wright still at the podium? I can't remember. Jeff Howell is the guy that comes up and reads off the cue card for what Ridenauer tells him to say. He is supposed to be some kind of MRC director, economic development director, something like that. He's not in charge of the board. He's supposed to be there to assist them. But Isaac Miller is the president. But what we're talking about right here, listen to what we're talking about right here. They have claims before them. This is just like in Delaware County, where the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission had a claim in their claim pile that did not belong to them. It did not belong to them. It belongs someplace else. So Andrew here is saying, wait a minute. If this doesn't belong here, we shouldn't be putting this forward. This is not right. I don't want this in here. They literally come back and say, well, it's already been paid. Joe Black caught that. Let's take this back a little bit and listen to what goes on here. Listen to this.
4991 for legal services. That's what the invoice stated. So that's.
We'll have to find out if it needs to be applied someplace else because it is not an MRC property, and so we'll have to take a look and see.
Yeah, no other.
It is not an MRC property where they were dealing with, so we'll have to take a look and see. All right, keep that in mind. Now listen here.
Questions. I would move that we approve the claims as presented minus the legal payment of.
That claim will have already been paid.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a matter of whether it gets reallocated someplace else.
I understand, but
that claim has already been paid, so it'll be a matter if we reallocate it or whatever. Well, yeah, first off, that's a problem. What? Like, what are we doing here? What exactly is the situation with this that would make this a claim that has already been paid? prior to the vote. And second of all, it's already been paid by what? Has it already been paid by the MRC? Or has it been paid by somebody else? We're now in the same boat with the MRC that I am in with the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission. How and why has a claim been paid prior to it being voted on? And if everybody seems to know that this is something that does not belong to the MRC, what is it doing here? How did it get here? Why is it on our piece of paper? Furthermore, why is someone out in the audience, Jeff Howe or whatever, having pieces of paper out, something out here? So number one, he knows, oh yeah, that's not ours. And number two, yeah, it's already been paid. This seems like something fishy. And thank God for Andrew Dale to raise this question, because Shireen Wegley didn't. And you would think that the mayor's office would want to, make sure that they're paying things appropriately and be fiscally conservative with money, because, Senate Bill 1, but here we are just willy-nilly paying things ahead of time, paying things out of the wrong claims, paying things from over here, from over there. That's crazy, man. And I guarantee you, this conversation will not appear in next month's minutes. And they're going to bring the minutes to the board. And Andrew Dale's going to say, I think there's things here that, should be here and they're not. And so I'm not going to vote for this. And I'm telling you, next month, if this very talk is not in the minutes, Andrew has to pitch a fit. He has to get crazy on them. This is nuts. We're not done with this. Listen to what happens here and listen to the vote on this. Now, listen to what goes on from here. We'll back up. This is 431. We'll back up just a little bit here so we can hear it and let you hear it with. We'll back up to 400. Listen.
4991 for legal services. That's what the invoice stated. So that's.
We'll have to find out if it needs to be applied someplace else because it is not an MRC property. And so we'll have to take a look and see.
Yeah. No other questions. I would move that we approve the claims as presented minus the legal payment of.
That claim will have already been paid.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a matter of whether it gets reallocated someplace else.
I understand, but I'm going to go on record that it's not a party of this body for the claim. So I would move that we recognize that is to be paid otherwise and not subject to approval of this particular set of claims.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor.
Is that a motion?
Second.
Okay.
All right. For one of the only times in any of this, Zane Bishop comes up and seconds what Andrew says. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because sometimes I question, we've got Andrew out here, swinging in the wind, and Zane Bishop is kind of leaving him out to dry on some of these. Now, to make sure that everybody's aware, because I keep seeing people say, well, Andrew's asking too many questions. He'll be gone next week. The way this board is made up, this board is not elected. These people are not elected. They are appointed. 3 of the members are appointed by the mayor, and 2 of the members are appointed by the city council. The 3 members that are appointed by the mayor are Shireen Wegley right here, who is the mayor's secretary, his personal in the office, right in front of his door secretary, his biggest cheerleader, supporter, biggest all around everything. Okay. That's her. The next person that is the mayor's appointment is this guy right here, Stephen Pribella, and he's Mr. Quiet. He's like the dark horse, George Harrison. He's the George Harrison of the group. He's the quiet Beatle. He never says anything. No one ever lets him write the hit songs. And he's stuck to one Indian song per meeting. That's just about all we've got there. And then the leader of the group here is Isaac Miller, and this is the I don't have much to say about him. Isaac Miller is the leader of the group, and he's going to do whatever Ridenhour says, Papa Ridenhour. He thought he was the golden boy in the Republican Party. I think he kind of got spanked down a little bit. He's had a hard road to hoe, but he's still there to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. So the lady on the end, the guy in the middle, and then the guy second from the end over here, those are the Ridenhour's picks. And then the council picked Andrew Dale and Zane Bishop. So they will be on the board until they either want to come off or the council pulls them off or reappoints them. So they're not going anywhere, which is good. And Andrew Dale's a Democrat, hardcore Democrat. He is the chairman of the Delaware County Democrat Party. He and I don't agree on a lot of stuff nationally, but locally, I think he does a pretty good job of trying to keep things transparent and fighting for the good fight. He just needs to get a little bit more vocal like he was at the beginning. And I talked about this. My fear was he would burn out because it would always be this way. And I feel like he kind of has. He needs to pick that back up a little bit. But I want you to hear what happens. So he made the motion that we're going to pay the claims, everything except this questionable claim. And I want to know what's going on with this questionable claim. Zane Bishop seconded it. So now it's going to go to a vote. And I want you to listen to what happens here in this vote.
Any further discussion on the claims? Seeing none. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Dale?
No. Yes.
Okay, wait. So Zane voted yes. Andrew voted no, but he thought, and we'll hear him here in a minute, he was confused. He thought it was because they didn't take his recommendation serious, but he clears that up. So he votes yes here in a second. We'll hear him vote yes. So we'll have 2 yes votes.
If I apologize.
It's your motion.
I want to make sure we're sticking with that motion. Yes, pardon me.
So your vote is yes, just to
My vote is
clarify.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Pavilla?
Yes.
Ms. Wagley?
No.
Okay. All right. And it almost happened so quickly, and there's so much other conversation going behind, there. You almost can't hear it. Let's hear it again.
Yes. If
So Zane's voted yes. Andrew's yes.
I apologize.
It's your motion.
I want to make sure we're sticking with that motion. Yes, pardon me.
So your vote is yes, just
My
to
vote is
clarify.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Pavilla?
Mr. Miller is himself. He votes yes. Mr. Pribella is a yes.
Yes.
Ms. Wagley?
No.
Okay.
Miss Wagley. And Miss Wagley's a no. So Miss Wagley, Shireen Wagley, voted no. Now, they don't question them on this, and she provided no insight to this. But what does her no mean vote? What does her no vote mean? Rather, dyslexic today, worse than others. Why did she vote in that way? Does she not want to pay any of the claims? I don't think that's the case. Or is it more a case of she didn't like that Andrew got his way, and she thinks that we need to not question that last deal, and she's not part of that, like Alva has asked here. So, did the mayor's office know? Good question. That's a really, really good question. I have this written down. I'm going to reach into my bag of tricks to try to get this answered, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people playing tricks with everything. It's going to be like a, quick, which hands it in type of deal. And we're getting ready to kick off into the spring break weeks. So we're going to have a lot of folks that are going to be going to spring break. And so it's going to be hard to get information over the next week and a half, 2 weeks from various people. So we're going to have to find out. No. They don't hardly ever explain their yes or no's. Very seldomly when they start to vote. And it mostly only happens at the state level and at the federal level, but every now and then with commissioners or city or county councilors, you'll hear someone say they're going down the vote and they'll call your name, Mr. Bilbrey, and instead of saying yes or no, I would say, well, before I vote, I want to give a reasoning for my vote. And then I give a little bit of a reasoning, and I say, well, because of that, my vote on this is, yes or no. And so, no, they don't do that. They haven't done it. They should do it. I wish they would do it, but they didn't do it, and they don't do it here. But I thought it's interesting that the mayor's secretary is a no vote on this, when literally everybody else is the yes vote. Like, why would you? This is not a hill to die on. It doesn't mean that whatever happened isn't going to get the money. It just means it shouldn't come from the MRC. And that's what I think is wild about all this. These people aren't here for what's better for the communities. They're here and they're doing this job because of what's better for themselves, their friends, their loved ones. And that's gross.
Moving on with the report from the city. Mr. Howe, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, Summerfoot. DC, she's a little bit different in the fact that, and I know that we have a lot of people here that aren't fond of Amber. And, there are things that Amber does that I don't like or that piss me off. I absolutely agree. I know for a fact that Amber pushes back on the mayor on some things. I know, like, for a fact, Amber wants the original city Facebook page to be open communication-wise. She doesn't think that it should be censored. And I know periodically she pushes for that, but the mayor just continues on, keep it on. But I do know that there are times that she does give a pushback toward Ridenhour at various times. So it is what it says. It is what it is. That being said, Wegley never does that. Wegley will never go against the mayor for any reason.
So the financial report on our financial position, as you can see the mall TIF. We see the balance of the TIFs. The mall TIF has $428,000 plus. The Magix TIF has $10,000, a little over $10,000. Central TIF, almost $92,000. The South Side TIF, almost $93,000, and $109,000 in the Delaware Dynamics TIF, and $234 in the Village Parking Lot TIF. Total TIF balances are $732,517. I'm going to make note again. I want to be specific on the balances because the downtown development presentation will have some effect on that if approved.
And this, of course, is Dan's reader. It's Jeff Howell. He used to be the president of this board, and because the council did what it did, Dan had to do some quick thinking. He put Isaac in place of being the president of the board, and he put this guy in place of being his role while there. So every time you hear something that Jeff says, imagine that it's right now we're saying it.
The planned investments, we have 921,000 White River Lofts, 241,000 for the Till Pond allocated, and then the parks still have 59,000 total planned investments of $1.2 million, and total focused funds and planned investments of 1.9, almost $2 million. The consolidated TIF is just under 700,000. Other cash accounts is 1.4 million. For a total of 2.1. Then we have the sale of store lots. We still have 480,000 left there out of the 1,020,000 I think it was sold for. So they've taken down more lots. And then the sale of Sportsplex at 735,000. Projected tax revenue, net of debt payments is $1 million. So total of projected new revenue of 2.2. We still have Storage State Park. We have that commitment made, and then the Village Hotel at 400,000, and that continues for a few more years. So that's 570 for this year. Gives us estimated consolidated TIF funds at the end of the year at 3.763, almost 3.764 million dollars. Then on the other updates, been working with extensive discussions, been ongoing with property owners and prospective developers regarding the potential location and timing of new downtown hotel. Fairly complex conversations that really becomes a kind of a big game of combination of Monopoly and Tetris to figure out where things go and how to and with whom to try to establish partnerships with to make that happen. But nothing's definitive yet, so we got still some stuff to materialize as we go. But some of the people in the room can tell you, I've been talking to everybody that owns real estate, figure out what we can do. Store Estates progress, D.R. Horton has acquired an additional 9 lots of Store Estates. And as we enter the prime building season, we anticipate that that'll accelerate the pace of development out there. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback from people out there in the neighborhood, and I think there are a couple of those properties already pending sales. And
whoa,
response on the part on the playground has been tremendous. I have people stop me at the gym all the time to tell me the playground's packed all the time. So that's working out real well. Village development projects, we've been working and spending significant time trying to figure out some things as it relates to the projects in the village. We're collaborating with the mayor and city council, Ball State University, and then the developer in the area to talk about the current and future projects. These initiatives promise a substantial economic impact to the city, and hopefully more detailed information will be.
What is this guy saying? He's just spitting out words.
Lots of things going.
It's not
trying to figure out how to get all that.
Once again, none of these words that are made up of letters that make up sentences that are on this paragraph on this sheet of paper means anything to anybody. He don't recognize these words. They're not words or thoughts that he's had. They are words and thoughts that the mayor has parroted to him and that he's parroted back. He's, and they went over them a time or two. And now he's in the performance of his life needing to read these and stumbling over them and saying this. I mean, it's so awkward. Yeah. That's exactly right, Kate.
To work. I have been, surprisingly enough, we had a call about wireless communication tower that wanted to be located in the Store Estates area. Well, it's not going to happen. So I've been working with them to try to find alternative sites. There is a, for lack of a better, my interpretation is a signal strength problem in certain parts of. Wait.
Let's go back here and listen.
About wireless communication tower that wanted to be located in the Store Estates area.
So the city's looking at putting in a tower for communication to make the northwest side of Muncie, the Ball State area, which makes sense, have better cell capability. And they were thinking about putting it in at Store Estates, but he says, oh, no, it's not going there. You mean to tell me the people that don't even live at Store Estates are already nimbing up everything, and they like to bust our balls when we're out here saying not in my backyard, but they've not even finished these homes. Nobody's living there. Somebody might own one of the properties that's almost going to be finished, but it's still going to be a while before it's finished. And they're already being like, well, we can't put it up there. So they're going to stick it in somebody else's neighborhood who they think won't be vocal, or if they are vocal, they don't care. So this is really interesting because I hadn't heard about this before. This is the very first time I've heard about this. Also, the other thing, DC, when we were listening to the council meeting yesterday from Delaware County, the audio, the crumbling in any kind of county produced audio is horrible. It's like crumbling paper, cooking popcorn, or doing something that's just totally obnoxious. And apparently, I was told that after the meeting on Tuesday at the county building, the new microphone system was put in place. Now, the same guy records both the city and the county. And that guy just recently changed the microphones at the City of Muncie. And the way I know this is, you can look here in this picture right here, this microphone that's right in front of Mr. Howell. It used to be one of those 1970s Bob Barker microphones. It had the base that was about this big, and then it connected up to a bendy material, and then it went up to the head, and you could bend it around and push it up and push it down, whatever. Okay, well, that worked. And then the council had their own mics up there that they could turn on and turn off or whatever. Well, sometime here recently, they have went through and replaced at least that podium mic, which is no good. No good. See how far away it is from his mouth? People aren't talking directly into the capsule, and it's I don't understand. Like, they need to go back to I hope the microphones that the county got were not these, because these sound still like shit. And I'm really scared when I heard I guess Tuesday that they hooked all the microphones up. I need to go look, I guess. I hope they're not these microphones, because these microphones are still total shit.
Well, it's not going to happen. So I've been working with them to try to find alternative sites. There is a, for lack of a better, my interpretation is a signal strength problem in certain parts of the city. And they felt like that would resolve some of them. I think a lot of it's around Ball State and Ball, IU Health, Ball Memorial Hospital. So I've been kind of working with them on that, and have looked at a couple different sites, but we have kind of rejected the Store Estates. There was an offer maybe to take a look at whether it could be done on the fire station on Tillotson, but that's not going to work either. So we're working things out. But
what?
It's been kind of an interesting project. It'll carry 3 different carriers, AT&T and 2 of the others. So, so we'll get that done. We're also working on a public art initiative, a project underway, collaboration with the Muncie Arts and Culture Council. They are looking at doing a public art display So I'm trying to figure out whether we can work out something with them to make that happen. And that's really what I have in the way of updates right now. The other business I have for you is I'm requesting the MRC do a grant, which I guess jumps ahead on our grant area. Let's see.
Jeff, are you?
I can hold off on that if you want.
Yeah, are you moving ahead to other business now?
I am.
Okay.
But
we have downtown development listed before
correct.
them.
Let's
if you
do
don't
that.
mind. So
Okay.
why don't we start there?
Yeah.
Vicky, if you want to go ahead or.
Next on my piece of paper, so I was just gonna.
Along.
Good morning. Thank you for having me and giving me the time to speak. I believe you all received information in your packets on planters in the downtown area. And these planters were initially installed for the way they were made out of limestone as a nod to our limestone rock in Indiana. And that was the decision made at that time. But you can see that they're getting hit on a frequent basis. They're also around 10 years old now. The square edges make the corners pointed too, which sometimes causes more damage than maybe if something were not quite as edged that way. So we have several of those planters downtown that I would say they all have damage or have been removed already. And we have blank spaces. So the planters have been planted in the past by community enhancement projects, and they plant those planters for the city 4 times a year. So we're very lucky to have that happen. That organization's expressed some serious concerns about the planters and continuing to plant. I'm here today to talk about solutions, and I'm going to be asking you to approve today on a not to exceed because there's still a little bit of work to be done, but I need approval today because if we wait until your next meeting, we will miss a planting season and we're headed into the event season, and especially in June when we have brink of summer and it's flower hour. So anyway, I submitted to you an estimated budget for replacing the planters. I absolutely have no expertise in this area. So we asked Community Enhancement Project to do the research and make the recommendations on what planters they felt would work. And they have a lot of experience in this area. So I also submitted to you what they have recommended. And it's kind of cool because these also have an additional element to them, which is a water reserve. So it can help with water retention on the plants and ultimately save money for CEP, but CEP then turns around and puts that back into the community. So there's that too. I sent you an estimated budget. So, and I know that we talked a couple of years ago during meetings with this board, I believe, about that downtown generates a significant amount of TIF dollars to the community. I think they generate more tax per acre because of the density than probably any other TIF area in the county. And we talked about looking at a percentage of that perhaps to be used for maintenance types of things downtown. And
Okay.
you agreed to that when you did the lights for Cannon Commons, and I think you've done a couple of other things. So I'm submitting a request today to approve not to exceed the $37,773.08 for replacement of the planters downtown. And then if we are able to save dollars, obviously we'll report back to you on that. Our role in this is as a partner to MRC. We're just kind of doing the research and overseeing how this gets implemented.
Okay, so Vicky, I have a couple questions. So
What?
this is in addition to the 80,000 that we already.
So this is supposed to be a really big and important meeting, like all of these redevelopment commission meetings for the city of Muncie. This is supposed to be something that's very important in the city of Muncie. And these meetings are handled in such a way that it's really wild. They didn't do the research. They pawned that off on some. Yeah, that's exactly because no one truly knows what they're doing here. None of the administration folks that are coming in, or the people that are coming in to work from the administration, or the people that are coming in and asking for this money and hoping that this money, is going to be given. No one knows what's truly going on. And the board doesn't know what's going on. And they're knowing that, they've been given in my opinion, their orders from the mayor. And that's the reason they've got Shireen here to check, out who's doing what. It's ridiculous.
You give
So
annually, correct?
that is specifically for Muncie Downtown Development Partnership. This is predominantly a city, would be classified as a city project. We won't, yeah.
And look,
Street department or city parks or
whole conversations are going on. So now conversations aren't in the minutes. They're not being recorded in the minutes. They're not part of the live streaming episode video. And I know that folks like Jackie Fisher, Charlize Jameson in the audience there, other people have always asked these people, don't speak from the audience. Don't speak from your chair. If you have something to say, get up and come to the podium. And if you're not willing to come to the podium, then shut. I don't know. Don't be there. Shut up. Get out. If you don't feel like you should, if you're told you're not supposed to, shut up. Don't be talking. It's insane.
It is. You own the assets now.
Sure.
Now, out of that
What?
80,000,
To what?
obviously, as part of our partnership is the time that we have involved in the work that we do for you as a partner.
Absolutely. Okay. I think that's all I had.
So these are, for 24 of them, we're talking each, they're $15.75 a piece, which seems pretty reasonable.
Pretty reasonable compared to what they are now. And I'm anticipating we may be able to shave that, maybe one or two planters. We haven't decided that yet, but that's a possibility as well.
So just to understand, the city
Yeah.
is going to install these?
That's one of the things that we haven't visited to see what they can or cannot do.
What?
Not my call, but I think we want them on the streets.
Yeah.
So we didn't, so our cost maybe to have them installed as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's why it's a not to exceed. There's still some things that we want to visit to see if it's the best way to accomplish this. And
And these would fund, my recommendation would be if approved, they would fund out of that
central tip. Okay.
Just to clarify, CEP will continue to.
if we replace with these that they've recommended, then they have agreed to continue to plant them 4 times a year. They do spring, summer, fall, and holiday decorations.
Then you mentioned maybe shaving off some money for fewer planters. I would probably recommend using the full amount of funds to have replacements.
So I'm anticipating that we may only need 20 planters with having 2 extra on hand versus 24 with 4 extra on hand. But I don't know that yet. So it's up to you. That's your call. It's storage too that we want to make sure we're in good shape with that. Yes, that's the other thing is the reason why we're switching to these planters is they're made out of a different material of resin and they have a history of being not as easily damaged or moved. They are heavier, so it could be that we won't have near as much replacement problem.
I'd move approval.
Okay, there's a motion. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Any
Second.
further discussion? No? Okay. Oh, sorry, Zane. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Dale?
Yes.
Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Pravilla?
Yes.
And Ms. Wagley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vicky. All right, Jeff, now we'll talk about
How
your
much? What was that for?
That's okay.
When's it going to be done? What the hell's up?
So I am recommending, I'm asking for approval to grant 3 properties to the Muncie Land Bank. 3 properties are 719, 819, and 927 West Powers. It's a partnership between the City of Muncie, Muncie Land Bank, Intend Indiana, and WS properties. This is part of the Ready 2, one of the Ready 2 requests that we had in that we have yet to hear from, but these properties would be then developed, and we would be required to provide a match, and granting these properties provides us the full retail value of the properties as a match. 719, 819, and 927 West Powers.
They're on the back of your packets if you want to.
And yeah, but you can see where they're at. I mean, sure. But I've included a bit of a map if you can get perspective on it.
Yeah, sorry, it's behind the property
There's a
application.
lot of it. So, and then
Just for reference, for everybody's knowledge, it looks like the MRC has held on to 927 West Power since 2018. We've held 819 since 2016, and we've held 719 since 2017. So that's, I mean, almost a decade each. Almost.
Yeah. And these, wasn't here then, but the part of the reason, and Thane and I have chatted a bit about this. Part of the reason we do hold some of these properties is because of the opportunity. We have to find these opportunities, but many of them require a match, and those provide the match to us. Otherwise, we have to write checks for the match, and
sure,
it's a little more difficult to do.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think take advantage of our relationship with the land bank and let them do the work that they enjoy doing. So those are my thoughts on it. If anybody else has any discussion, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to transfer these three.
Okay. There's a motion.
The motion.
And a second.
Had a couple questions.
Go ahead, please.
To clarify, these are being like transferred, like gifted, or
yes,
okay,
gifted.
Do we know the planned end use of the lots?
Be developed into housing.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Part of their existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I think that's per our agreement with the land bank too. I think that's in there.
Right.
There's some requirements there that they meet as well.
Great, thank you.
Any further discussion? We do have a motion and a second. Steve. Okay. We'll go ahead and call roll. Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Dale?
Yeah.
So you let the property rot for 10 years and then give it to the land bank. Yeah, right.
Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Pavilla?
Yes.
And Ms. Wagley?
Yes.
Wonderful. You have a property purchase application, Jeff.
I do. So women support girls, women support each other. An organization that does work with young women has made an application. I'm going to let her tell you about her project, but she has signed the application. When she went online, she got the old application, she filled it out. We have since, I think, successfully gotten the new application. It's taken a while. And thanks to, I think, Shireen and Amber and IT, and with absolutely no help from me, we were able to get that on the website.
There he's honest.
Transfer the information that she provided onto our new application, and she has signed it. So there is a signed application here. And then if approved, we will provide her with an agreement to sell real estate, which Mr. Freeman prepared for us about a year ago. We won't ask her to sign it today. We'll ask her to take it so she can look at it, review it, have her legal counsel look at it if she wants to. But she'll walk you through what her plans are for the property.
Okay.
Yay!
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, my plans for the project is to buy a barn, which I have a document for you guys to view.
Now, Charlize, are you talking about the lots of the woman that's getting ready to talk?
Where they already did my outline, that will make our non-for-profit be able to work alone, then always get renting spaces. We're limited to the work we can do if we don't have our own space. So it will just be our headquarter space where we'll do events. We already have done events
I
this year.
The land bank
We got
lot.
2 events coming up. Been there, done that at the YWCA. The Roses and Pearl at the event Walker Center. We did all those same events last year. The Youth with the Future. We need our own space so we can do more work. We're limited.
Okay. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate it. Couple things I noticed on the new application, and Jeff, this might be a question for you. Under attachments required, it looks like there's not, and maybe you have these and just needs updated. Proof that the applicant has no delinquent taxes or code violations, all that. And then documentation of approval for financing of improvements on the vacant lot. Those 2 boxes are unchecked on this. If she has provided those since, then it's not a big deal, but I just wanted to double check and see your thoughts there.
I just checked the taxes.
Okay.
Okay. So
Right, it will be a Barn Unlimited LLC custom shed, and I'm gonna turn it into our headquarters, which I have that outlined, so we could do our support groups and mentor women and teenage girls. Do they need
There's some
this?
zoning requirements. This is in a residential,
That's true.
residential neighborhood.
Mhm.
And have you looked into the zoning
It's
requirements?
variable. So with it being variable, it could be
I'll just say on the application, current zoning is variety business.
variety, yeah.
Um,
variety.
That whole street along Willard, or that whole first row along Willard is all zone variety.
Okay.
Quit talking from the audience.
Where will the building set on the property? It's a pretty small acreage. It's like 0.7.
It will
I'm sorry,
sit like
I can't
this
see
way.
that.
Like this way?
Long, like go.
Can I see-
Well, no,
can
like
I
this
see what
way.
you got?
Yeah.
You can bring it up here. It's okay.
I think, well, I just want to take a look. Yeah, and my curiosity is where will it sit on the property? Will it be,
So it will be, this is the property, and it faces this way and straight this way.
does it sit further into the property or is
Further
it
in
closer
the
to the street?
In the property, it won't be close to the street. Because it's long way, like,
Oh, these are all.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, from the sidewalk, if there's a sidewalk or the street, how far back does the front of the building sit?
Why don't you go back to the mic? That way people can hear you, and then we can go through more questions. And then, sorry, Mr. Dillon. Yes, that was
Yeah, and the reason I'm asking, and just.
They make her go back to the
Just
mic.
context to the neighborhood and making sure that it's thematic and is respectful of the neighborhood. That's all. You follow me?
Well, it's long way, so I don't know that part. I don't know
I'm
that
just
part.
wondering when the front of the property, which I assume faces the street.
Right.
The door, how far that sets back from maybe the edge of the road,
It's a sidewalk on the road,
or
so
the sidewalk, yeah.
it will be a sidewalk, so I don't really know. They will have to come out.
That would probably just be based
Yeah,
on
I'm not getting
the setbacks for the zoning.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I'm just asking the question. Yeah.
It's
I'm all in favor of this. I want to make sure that the context is right for the neighborhood, when it's done right, and since we're a part of this, in that we're selling a piece of property or gifting, so to speak.
The front setback requirements for variety business shall be a front yard of not less than 25 feet measured from the right of way to the front wall of the building. So unless she gets a variance, it'll be that.
Thank you, Ben. Anything else? Any other questions on that? I brought this up on the phone the other day, and you and I talked about it, and Zane's a good point. So the contingencies are ability to obtain necessary building permits, verification of zoning limits, and verification of utilities, seller to pay any and all taxes accrued for any prior year, which that's irrelevant now, as far as we know. But I think, Zane, you may be speaking to the building permits, zoning, all that stuff, correct? Is that?
would we just hold it until, would it be like a
Nobody knows what's
just the
going
agreement,
on.
and then like
Nobody knows
the
what's going
permits and everything would be applied for? Would everything be applied for under the MRC's name?
We would sell the property and she would be able to use
Stumblefoot.
the steps that she would have.
They didn't go into the land bank.
Scheduled to go out to South
They-
Central,
they voted for that lady.
the Old West End,
They
and Whiteley
passed her through.
in the coming weeks here. That same process, again, trying to build something really with community input on which properties we're going to be asking from the county this year. We're working on a transfer of properties. So the three properties that you guys just gifted us, those are part of our inventory for the Old West End Community Development, or Comprehensive Community Development Project, which is part of what Jeff mentioned, Central City Housing Project that we're applying for ready funding for, hoping to be a part of that. We're going to, rather than wait for ready funding to be dispersed, our hope is to, upon board approval, to transfer 11 of the properties that we have that are shovel ready. There's others that are shovel ready, but these 11, Intend and Eco Rehab and Pass on all the partners are talking about getting going, just to get something started rather than just keep saying we're waiting, just get something going. So we're looking at doing a transfer of 11 properties to Intend, and then we'll work with Eco Rehab and Pass Zone and everybody to figure out who does what. And all that, all those development plans will go through our disposition committee to make sure that they're aligned with kind of the vision that's been created by the Alliance in the neighborhood. We have, we're exploring a new partnership. Brought this up, I think, last meeting. Somebody that Jeff has got to know a little bit. Also, the mayor. We went and visited one of their most notable work sites in Indianapolis. It's an old school that they've turned into some really nice market rate apartments. We want to kind of ease into something, but we're excited about the possibility of a partnership with a for-profit developer in an area where there's starting to see a lot of energy, potentially in the old West End. We had first Friday, we brought the head planner from South Bend. He spoke at our first Friday meeting last Friday. It was really great. He, just kind of started out by saying that in South Bend, they kind of recognized that no one's going to come and save them, and so they, as a planning department, did everything they could to kind of create the conditions for local people to get involved in development. And they did some reforms to the zoning code, and have a pre-approved design program, and they've done some work in rebuilding some of the sanitary issues where anybody who would be developing something would have to eventually pay for. And so just trying to create the conditions for
day of people that get up. They must not have been ready to go, and they were just stumbling and stuttering and carrying on. So he
setting the bar
he
very
outlines his plan.
high.
It goes through.
We're assuming that this would be hopefully an opportunity to dialogue and converse and think about really the land bank's capacity and where we can help.
Yes.
And also potentially some funding commitments. And in this agreement, we would be including some kind of clause about how any properties that we acquire and that the city, the MRC, the county wants to use as part of deals that they're doing, that they would have some type of first right of use. That's my update today.
So as part of a match for a grant, the Ready Grant.
Mhm.
And if you guys move forward with that, it's possible that once the grant award comes, they're not going to look back and give credit for anything that's happened prior to that grant award. So a lot of grants don't. I don't know if Ready does or not, but it's just something, because that could be a large chunk, the 11 properties, the legal, the staffing, and anything else that you guys are talking about doing with those 11 properties. If you do it before the award is given, then you may not be able to use it as part of the in kind or whatever it is. So just be careful with that. Make sure that Ready will
Just
allow
be
you
careful with
to start
that.
now before the award.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Anything else?
I'll just add, I was at the South Bend presentation, and it was great. The city's done a lot of work to kind of get out of its own way.
Thank God.
Interesting.
If the city could get out of its own way, we would really be doing something.
Okay. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll move on to public comment. If anybody signed up.
No, listen, I'm going to tell you right there. You are 100% right with that, Stumblefoot. Nate is a straight up dude. He's a good guy. He is really a good guy. And he really wants what's best for the city of Muncie. He wants what's best for Delaware County. And if the city and all of these, local bureaucratic idiots would get out of his way, he would do some good things around here. But, who knows? But yeah, you are right about that. I will absolutely agree with that.
You have 2 minutes each. Anybody? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to commissioner comments.
Yes, Charlie.
Yeah,
absolutely.
only thing I had, I drove through store, saw that
100% guy.
homes are getting done. A few of them have sold. They have sold signs in the yard. which is really
All good.
exciting.
Good dude.
So, that's just great to see for the proof. I think we did the right thing there. So I'm really excited about that. And happy birthday, Mr. Howe.
Yeah.
Oh,
29 today.
Howe's
29.
birthday.
Yeah. Any other comments today from commissioners? Okay. Seeing none, we will be adjourned. Our next meeting is April 17th, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ding, 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 ding. And there that was. Holy shit. That was only a 44-minute meeting, and we were going at it at like 1.3 speed too. Like, that still felt like it took 3 hours. I have never seen more people just go and mumble through something and stammer and stutter and not know what's going on, and people talking over here that you can't hear. They sound, it's worse than the Charlie Brown adults. And it's just like, dude, get to a microphone, shout, yell, do something, but don't talk if you can't be heard. It's so ludicrous. And the fact that the president of all of these bodies can't recall that and remember to tell the people that is nuts. There would be nothing wrong with them making themselves notes. I've got notes all over here. I've got a note over here I look at, note over here, different things that help keep me on track doing, this or that, and help me, remember to say, oh, hit your thumb, give me the like and all that stuff. If you don't know where you're going, make yourself a note to remind the people to not speak unless they're at a freaking microphone. It's crazy. So, I got to tell you once again, sat through Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting, and I don't hear or see anything amazing for the city of Muncie currently. No real big plans. Right now, we're still creating housing. We're going to have so much apartments, poor people apartments and rich people apartments and middle of the road apartments, and a house here and a house there. It's going to be interesting. I just want to know who's going to live in these houses, where are they coming from, and what are they doing work-wise that will sustain them to live in these places? Okay. Yep. Absolutely. And I don't know if you just got here, but we talked about that big time at the beginning. And that's something I wish, and I've talked to Andrew about this. I've talked to Andrew Dale about this, and I guess I'm going to have to talk to him again. I understand that it gets monotonous for him each meeting to have to fight this fight and to say something about it and to get angry about it. I understand that it's just a tedious thing, but every now and then we need that. And what's really going to be interesting is, no, you're fine. I get that, Charlize. I'm going to keep record of that situation in the claims where the claim was paid ahead of time and it was someone else's claim to pay, not the MRC's. And that little argument that went back and forth. And I guarantee you that it would it would be no big deal whatsoever for them to include 2 lines about that in their notes, but they will not do that. That argument, that discussion will not be in the minutes come April 17th when they have their April meeting. And I don't like wishing away time, but I can't wait to see the MRC meeting from April 17th when we look all the way through the minutes and we realize there is nothing in these minutes about the big argument that we had about the claim that, number one, had already been paid ahead of the vote. So what in the hell? And number two, it didn't belong to the MRC. And when that's not in the minutes, I am going to go nuts. Also, I'm going to reach out to Ridenauer and to Shireen and find out why Shireen voted no on that, because that seems like a very strange thing for her to vote no on. Very strange, very strange. Tweety Bird says we're now paying people to move here, and what she's referring to is the Muncie on the Move situation. Now, in all fairness, this is something that a lot of cities do. A lot of bigger cities or cities that are trying to become like up and coming or whatever, yada, yada, yada. This has been happening since Ridenhour's been in office. This is a big thing they've been doing. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's okay. I think it can be good, but I guess rather than just someone moving here for a little bit to get the money and then moving away or whatever, like I'd like to know that people really have a reason to come here and it makes sense for them, and that we're helping them out and they're helping us out, and there's a win-win-win-win-win. But I just want to know that the people are staying here. For immediate release, this was released yesterday. City of Muncie is now partnering with Delaware County to expand the Make My Move program into new areas. Since Ridenhour has been in office, it's been everywhere inside the legal city limits of Muncie. Now it's actually expanded outwards out of the city of Muncie. City of Muncie has announced a partnership with Delaware County to expand the boundaries of the successful Make My Move program, offering a $5,000 incentive to eligible movers who relocate to the city of Muncie or various areas within unincorporated Muncie addresses. This expanded initiative is designed to attract remote workers from out of the state to move into the Muncie or Delaware County area, further strengthening local economy and community. Delaware County Redevelopment Commission has agreed to fund $5,000 incentive for qualifying individuals, ensuring that those who are looking to make Muncie their home can take full advantage of the program's benefits. To be eligible to the program, participants must be moving from outside of state. They must have a minimum individual income of $50,000. So it's not like you're going to be the fry cook moving here and it's going to work. You've got to be somebody that's employed in a position where they're making at least $50,000 a year. You have to be bringing that remote job with you, so it doesn't stay where you are. You're coming to Muncie and you're still doing that job from where you work, or you'll have one, whatever the point is. You have to be coming here with a job. They don't want to just bring people here who are, jobless. So that's important. The Make My Move program is part of a broader effort to attract and retain talent in Indiana's communities, with an emphasis on creating sustainable growth and vibrant neighborhoods. Mayor Dan Ridenhour expressed enthusiasm for the expansion, saying that this is a great opportunity for Muncie to attract talented, motivated individuals who will help lost it. By partnering with Delaware County, let's see here. By motivated individuals who will help build the future of the community. By partnering with Delaware County, we can offer a wider range of housing opportunities and further enhance the appeal of Muncie as a place to live, work, and play. We are excited to welcome remote workers from all over the country who are willing to look for welcoming opportunity with a high quality of life. The economic impact of this program already speaks for itself, and the expansion will only continue to increase those benefits. Since its inception, Make My Move program has had a significant impact on the local economy. To date, the program has generated an estimated $9.6 million in economic impact. Looking ahead, it is projected that the program will contribute $23.4 million in economic impact over the next 5 years, a testament to the value of attracting remote workers to our region. Commissioner Stephen Brand voiced his support for the expanded program. The Delaware County Redevelopment Commission has been committed to focusing economic growth throughout the county, and expanding the Make My Move program will not only help Muncie, but also contribute to the revitalization of surrounding areas. We are thrilled to collaborate with the City of Muncie to bring remote workers and their talents to Delaware County. The economic potential of this program is enormous, and we are eager to see it grow. This initiative is expected to provide a boost to Muncie's local economy, stimulate the real estate development, and support local businesses. The program also serves as a serves to diversify the population and add new perspectives to the region, contributing in long-term growth of the community. And for those interested in seeing where this is, it is here. And you are right, KIF 76. That's exactly correct. So it's kind of hard to see. I understand, but basically what you're looking at here is this area here is Muncie. This area here. So where I'm drawing where I'm drawing the cursor around, and then what this does is this now expands to south of Muncie into Delaware County, down into like the Cowan area, and over by the east side of the reservoir, over into Selma, and then north on over past the bypass into like the DeSoto area, up into the Royerton area, and then all the way up to close by around Eaton area, and then northwest Muncie, which takes you up towards 28 and beyond. So every place colored in here is expanded. It's not only just the city of Muncie, but everywhere else that's colored, either the purple, the blue, or the green. So, I mean, look, it's a good enough thing. I think what we need to be doing is strengthening our citizens here and trying to make things better for them as a whole. I think that would prove to be better. But Ridenauer likes nice, shiny things, and you know how he is with that. So that's that take on that. Definitely supposed to be active in the community, not complain about the government. Oh yeah, that is a high mark. I'm going to look for something like this. I'm going to look for somewhere that wants like to have move into our community, and we'll pay you to move here and love it and be wonderful. And then I'll move there and then just completely start tearing them apart, saying what's wrong with everything. 160, they claim. How many are homeowners is what I want to know. Well, that's the other thing. Stumblefoot. So apparently to do this, you all have to be homeowners. I don't think that it can be renters. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Noblesville offered 15,000. So see, our measly little 5,000, that ain't nothing. You know what I mean? No, Stumblefoot, I'm not sure. I need to double check that. That's what I'm saying. I'll say I'm not 100% sure. I will check with Amber. She might be going off to spring break. I will check with our someone in the city government tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that they have to be homeowners. Make my move. Requirements. Let's see. Wow. So look at this. Hutchinson, Kansas, $7,300. Wabash County, Indiana, $8,400. Terre Haute, $8,800. Noblesville, $15,000. Richmond, $7,500. Indianapolis is only $5,000. Eastern Kentucky, Country Music Highway, $5,250. $5,250 to move to the Eastern Kentucky University towns. That's interesting. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Kiff. That's our tax money. And here, a lot of you people, I don't think were on here when I first said, when we were going through the claims earlier from the Board of Works meeting, and saw that Ridenhour, the mayor of Muncie, paid $12,500 or something like that, $12,250 to host his state of the city at the convention center, where it cost us, $12,000 some dollars, instead of saving that money and using our perfectly good auditorium, using our perfectly good camera equipment there, and saving on that money. And instead, he wants to do that and then stand and bitch about Senate Bill 1. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, Charlize, we're definitely in the low end. That's no question. That's a lot of trunk shrimp for Dan. And speaking of trunk shrimp, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've had this on here. And I know there's been a couple times that I have, there's been a couple times that I've mentioned it here recently, but we have some new folks here. And maybe some of these Make My Move people, they need to know what they can get. The perk of living in the city of Muncie or around the city of Muncie is trunk shrimp. Trunk shrimp out in front of City Hall by Mr. Trunk Shrimp himself, Mayor Dan Ridenhour. That's cash only, $5 per pound, or a special deal for you people from out of state, $20 for 3 pounds. You can't beat prices like that. The price is so good, you'll think he's stealing from you. So check it out. Trunk shrimp. It's good. He's only been sick that one time from it. Now, he was sick for like 6 months, but, he seems to be doing well now. Freshly caught from the Prairie Creek. So, I would consider it if I were you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday night, which means it's over for us. Unless something big happens. I was thinking about doing a show tomorrow or doing a show Saturday, but I think we're just going to take the 2 days. We've been kind of all discombobulated this week. I apologize for it. I do think that Kate and I, all of us, need a break. So I am going to take 2 days, hang out with family, do some things. My brother had surgery today, had a surgery to remove a gallbladder. So he's doing well. I'm going to go spend some time with him and see what's going on there. They just recently had a baby, so they've got a lot of craziness going on. So we will not be here tomorrow. We will not be here on Saturday unless something crazy happens. Now, if something crazy happens, you might want to check in. And the best way to know if we go live when we're not scheduled is to subscribe to the show. You can do that for free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe on YouTube. You know how it works. click the bell. Doesn't cost you anything. If you want to give us some money, you can, but you don't have to. The most important thing is that you're here, you hit the thumb, and that you share the show with everyone you know. That's what it's all about. So please do that before you leave. We would very greatly appreciate it. And we will be gone tomorrow, gone Saturday. It's the weekend, but we will be back Sunday. Kiff says, this is from the Obama administration. He said that he was going to change the demographics. That's how these local officials are able to get their federal funding. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That is definitely a big thing. So it's all that and the 15-minute cities and all of that new age type of thinking about where we live and how we live and why we live, like we've been told by the great thinkers of our time, you will own nothing and be happy. So it is what it is. Kristopher can turn the lights out tonight. I'm going to bed. Stumblefoot, you know it. All right, you guys, take care. God bless each and every one of you. You guys be safe. Love you all. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And unless something crazy happens, we'll see you back here at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, ready for a brand new week. Take care. God bless. Good night.